Welcome to Hangman Tarot. We're going to get started here in just a minute, but first, hit subscribe if you would, please, and thank you to Hangman Tarot. We're going to get into our celebrity reading with Ronnie Ortiz. I think that's his name. I'm not quite sure. And Sam. It's going to be a Sam and Ronnie reading for me. Let's just get it there. Okay. All right, here we go. Let me adjust my camera. All right, let's get into this reading. I'm excited. I'm so excited. Okay, we're going to find out all that we need to know as far as like a energy within their relationship. Like currently, this could be even currently like right before the breakup. This could be currently now, however it resonates. But first, again, hit subscribe while I'm getting ready here. We're going to find out about the past, present, and upcoming. Even if there's, not an upcoming, we're going to find out as much as we can here, okay? This was a request from a subscriber of mine, so thank you for your request. I appreciate it very much, and keep your requests coming. We also have a Chris Evans reading coming up next. That's right. I got a lot of readings in today so far. Well, it will be. It's, it is what it is. What do you guys think about this Ron and Sam deal? I thought their relationship was very chaotic. Chaos. I felt like they were insensitive to each other. I feel like they belittled each other. They downgraded everything about how they felt. I just think they ruined it with sensitivity, oversensitivity, and intensity. It could have been great, Sam and Ron, but y'all probably fucked it up. Okay. I was like, who's calling me mom? Hello, Reagan. My daughter's literally in the chat. Hello, Reagan. All right, let's find out about Ron and Sam. Reagan, do you know who Ronnie and Sam are? From Jersey Shore. Oh, let's do their current reading. Okay, so we're going to get into the astrology. Ronnie was born Wednesday, December 4th, 1985, Bronx, New York, United States, Sagittarius, moon signs of Virgo. Birth path is a 3, and a little bit about Ronald Ortiz-Magro Jr. He's an American TV personality and actor. He first came to prominence as one of the 8 main cast members on MTV reality TV series Jersey Shore. Of course, Lottie freaking Daw. That premiered, I guess, December 4th, 2009, and they currently shot 5 seasons for the show in New Jersey, Miami, and in Italy. Italy was toxic and gross feeling. I remember that whole entire season was horrible. I just felt like it was, like dingy. Sammy was born Saturday, March 14th, 1987 in New Jersey, United States. She's a Pisces and a Virgo sign for her moon. Her birth path is a 6, and a little bit about Samantha Ray. Yes, that's her middle name, Ray, R-A-E, just like my daughter. Hers is Reagan. It's R-A-E. Again, she is known as Sammy the Sweetheart. She's an American TV personality model, and she's an actress. She first came to prominence as one of the 8 members of Jersey Shore also. She was on that reality TV series too. And okay, that's all I want to know. Okay, let's get into the reading. You don't know who Sam and Ron are? Ron, stop. You don't remember that on TikTok? You might be too little. She's my kid, and I'm like, yeah. Do you remember the most toxic couple on Jersey Shore? All right, here we go. Find out a little bit about what's going on currently or within currently, right, as there is a breakup or whatever situation or experience. Okay, so lessons. I was not surprised that this is the energy around the relationship is lessons. I just figured the two of them brought great lessons to each other, especially when it comes to learning about life, learning about relationships. Oh, go out. Go.
You call me little?
Yes, go. I got to get this reading done, girl. Making this last 5 days long. Okay. That was my daughter. She's bothering me as I do tarot. See, she'll start texting. She's on the chat room. If you guys want to say hi, anybody wants to say hi to her. All right, here we go. Yeah, it was just kind of like a rite of passage and lessons. And this was a lot to do with like movement and self-expression when the two of them were together. So there was a lot of expression, a lot about the self individually even. But I feel like these lessons really put them on the paths that they are on now. It helped them to gain access to something that they were going to need for their future. So not annoying me. Reagan, quit. You're not annoying me. I'm just trying to do a tarot reading. Not at all annoying me. Okay. We're going to get into this reading. So I want to find out what was going on within the house afterwards when they broke up. We're going to find out like from the past. And then, obviously we got to get into the present and anything that might be upcoming for the two of them. I know that these two are not probably together or ever will be because I think Sammy is like, I think that the relationship served its purpose for whatever it was needed for, but that's it. It's over. Okay, here we go. All right, got 6 of Cups. That is upright. Our Ace of Pentacles, that's in a reverse. King of Swords, that is also in a reverse. I cannot adjust this here. Ooh. I think I got it. Okay. All right. So kind of getting into the situation is very much just kind of going into the past of things. So really taking a look back into this situation when they were both together, single, however that went. But I feel like there was definitely some sort of trying not to overthink in the situation. When they think about the situation or the relationship, it brings back a lot of nostalgic, and it could even bring back almost like frustration or emotionally just feeling like there wasn't enough good give and take in the situation. It was just like a lot of taking, and there was a lot of overthinking, but there was a lot of love and connection and feeling. This was a full-on relationship. Just because it was, toxic according to me or you, they literally got what they needed out of it. But this was a very romantic, loving relationship. It was an emotional state of affair for sure. All right, getting into the next part here. I feel like there was hesitation moving forward a lot. Even when they were like trying to get back together with each other, there was second guessing. So I think timing was a huge issue. I think timing had a lot to do with it. And you could not rely on this relationship. You couldn't. And this was, even if it was a new beginning every day, like it was not reliable. There was nothing reliable here as far as I can see. Even if that, I feel like it wasn't as stable or safe as it should have been. And I think that was the idea behind it, was that it felt like that at first. It felt very grounding. And, both of them were, with this King of Swords, that's just giving me all sorts of Sammy vibe. She kind of even had a misuse of power also, okay? I know that everyone's saying like, Ronnie was the issue. Ronnie. But deeply inwardly, just because somebody's super sensitive, super, independent, in which she was, she lied a lot, and she manipulated not only, him, but she manipulated herself too. So she had a lot of misuse of power, just kind of misusing the fact that people thought she was a sweetheart. She's a bae. And, she did stand up for herself in the situation, but I feel like there was a lot of violence, a lot of aggression and confusion. So even her mind wasn't very clear here. But I think that the being firm in truth is fine, but I feel like to a degree, until you start lying to yourself and you kind of get into this fold of thinking that you're, just the only victim in this. I think they both were victims, and I think that they both misused their power. But again, that's not something that is talked about often at all. Even if it was reactive, that's still a type of an abuse. So, all right, let's get into the rest of this. Let's find out, Kentley, darling, where they are. Reagan. It is sad. It's very sad. I know we just talk about these things all nonchalantly, and then You're like, oh my God. All right. We got 3 of Swords, that's in reverse. 5 of Cups, that's also in reverse. Knight of Swords. Okay. So whatever this relationship was for them, it definitely changed them. It definitely put them in a place where, forgiveness is slowly over time happening. And this might already have happened, but there's no expression of it. Okay. There was definitely a codependency and an intensity in the relationship, but now they're able to look at things at a different angle. They don't talk about it. They don't communicate about it, but there is acceptance here. And, the focus has been on themselves for a very long time. And I feel like they dealt with what they needed to deal with. They've, dealt with worse probably at this point, but I feel like, forgiving is one of the biggest things in whatever I'm seeing here with the 5 of Cups in reverse and 3 of Swords in reverse. It's just like that forgiveness is huge. It's huge. It's key. And it's just like the non-awareness of that, or just not like really acknowledging that they need to take that step. It's going to put them, kind of, back in that stuff, whatever that was, that, the criticism, the disregarding of each other's emotion. I mean, it was just all about finding fault with each other, wasn't it? In those two, it's just that nonstop. Hey, Ronnie, you suck. Sam, you're this and this. Hey, Ronnie, you're this and this. And then they would fight over and over and over. We all know what that's like. All right. Knight of Swords on E. Yeah, so just like a lot of success is coming trying to come from the both of them. But I feel like the passion is what kind of fueled their success. So I feel like even though they had a fucked up relationship, I think the biggest part of this is that the literally the passion, the toxicity, the lies, the manipulation, however you want to look at the situation, the love that was in it even, this is what actually fueled their success. Okay. Snooki's was that she was Snooki, right? Okay. Let's see. JWoww was because she had big boobies and she had a plastic, job, and she was really skinny, and, she was tough. She was tough. She was a tough guy. Mike, the situation, he'd always show his abs. So his was his abs. Sam and Ronnie were the couple that fought in the house, the annoying couple. Vinny was, just being hot. Pauly D was a DJ, like they all had their own thing. But I think the biggest thing here was the fact that they actually had each other. They had their fucked up relationship. All right. What's ahead for these two? Is there any intention within whatever is upcoming? Okay. Okay. So double up. Okay. The intention coming over here from Sammy and over on the right side is Ronnie. So, I mean, he would, but he has to be shut off. He has to completely be shut down, shut off here. He would have to be in some space of like knowing how to be in a relationship. Okay. I feel like his inner child really brings up these deep emotions and really surprises himself and surprises everybody else around him. But him coming out of stagnancy or coming towards her is very far-fetched. He's not inspired. He doesn't feel like he would be lucky enough to, or he feels like he'd be really unlucky if he did it, because, we know where that would actually end. So, I mean, he's shut himself off completely from any potential with her. Intentions over on her end of things is that she would be unable to move forward with him, especially because it kind of, again, there was an out of control feeling here. She would have to be extremely impulsive and almost like still addicted, if that makes sense. And that's not the case. She's very aware of, the addiction that he was, and, how blocked it made her, how trapped it made her. Kind of out of control. The only thing that I can say here that the intention coming on her end of things is because of the obsession that she might have had with the relationship. And that, yes, the sex was great. The sex was great, but he was a dick. he was so great to me. All right. Likely outcome here. All right, we got our Magician in reverse, 4 Cups. That's in reverse, 4 Pentacles. All right, so again, communication is blocked. it's not as confusing as one would think it would be. It's just confusing in like a likely outcome. Okay. So they are ignoring their wants here. They could even be, one of them could be ignoring their needs even. But I feel like the confusion, because the communication is blocked and because they don't have communication, I think the confusion comes from the fact that they literally still actually want that stuff that they got from the relationship, the chemical, the chemicals that they would receive from being around each other. That's all that I look at it as, or the obsession of just kind of wanting or thinking that you could, rehash it again. Okay. I think if anybody's with Lana Del Rey, it's meant to be because like she's beautiful. Like who wouldn't want to be with Lana Del Rey? Okay, yes, I can put that on the list though. And I love that name, Jack. It's so like eccentric, even though it's just like the name Jack. But it's like very, I don't know. I've never dated a Jack, I guess. I don't really know. I'd probably call him Jackass. All right. Over on likely outcome, over on his end of things is that, again, there is just that taking the step back because he kind of ponders where that was headed. He ponders where it could head, but he knows that there was lies. He knows there was deception. And a lot of the lies did come from her end, oddly enough. And a lot of the deception or the manipulation came from his side of things. You're absolutely welcome. So, I mean, there's a thing about that. Like, it's just like, because he's big and muscly, and when he would yell, he would scream, and he would, throw the bed across the room. I mean, they just assumed he was the predator. So she has like a thing about that too, a thing about kind of a self-sabotage, because she's just like fully independent. She really strives on freedom. So like I understand that because I have that in my birth chart. So my karmic path is independence, freedom. So we self-sabotage so that we stay lonely or alone or free, in which case it, ends up like backfiring. And we learn that, freedom is not alone. Freedom isn't with a bunch of people either. So, I mean, anyway, getting off track here. Yeah, it would just bring a lot of misery. The money would be secure. The money bag would be full if the two of these guys. Can you imagine Ron and Sam reunion? Them getting back together. They could do a whole show on it. And I think that they should. And they should put Snooki back into the house with Ron and Sam. Put Snooki in there with one of her old like hookups. Maybe the kid who puked when they were on a date. And then we could do JWoww, we could do who she hooked up with, or because she hooked up with Polly when they first got in the house. So we could put them all back in the house, like with their first people. It'd be freaking weird. It'd be a good time. Put Angelina back in there. Bring back JWoww's ex-husband. That I would watch. I would sit every day and watch that show. It'd be great. Okay, so learning not to control in a relationship is definitely, again, something that was key in remembrance for the both of them. I think a likely outcome here is that, again, their minds are just too different. There's just no fucking way this would ever work ever again. He's a criticizer. He kind of, goes after the fact that she's feeling a certain way, and he kind of disregards it. So like, he kind of like, puts it under the bed and hides it. And she's very in touch spiritually. She's an artist. She's creative. So she's very sensitive, and she wants that to be regarded as important. Anyway, moving on with our evening, I'm going to get back to you with Chris Evans reading. That's right, people. Got Chris Evans coming up in just a minute. I'll be back in about 3 minutes to do that, and then I'm going to wrap up for the night. But other than that, I will see you guys shortly, and then I'll see you tomorrow for the rest of your zodiac signs for your month of July. Make sure you check those out. That'll be in a video that pops up. Also, and in the video will be some more Jersey Shore bullshit. I'll put it right here. You can check it out. I got a bunch of Jersey Shore readings, so it'll be a good time. Dude, a Jersey Shore reunion from hell. And then I think it would be great if you put like a body language person in there, and then like a psychic. Oh my God. Then the honesty would never be hidden. You could just like sit there and Oh my God, it'd be mad shit talking. It would be a good time. I would come every day for that. So anyway, again, share, like, and follow if you would, especially if this resonates, if I resonate as a tarot reader for you. If you have questions, comments, or requests for celebrity, leave it in the comment section over here, or check out the details below. That's all of my social media. Check out that members button. That comes with all sorts of incentives if you want to click on that. Oh my God, I know. That would be a good time. I think it would be amazing because they hooked up in the first like couple episodes, I think. Vinny's like the best looking one. I'm just going to say. It's so weird how he had the most anxiety the entire fucking, like, every season. He was like a, kind of like introverted. He very much hermited in some way. He'd always put like hoodies on. He'd physically hermit. He'd hide away or he'd leave. But I feel like he kind of, I don't know, he just turned out the best. Probably because he's aware of things. He's fairly aware, impacted by it. Anyway, so go ahead and have a good rest of your guys' evening. I will see you soon. Goodbye.